Today we're recreating this gorgeous, chalky, but balmy at the same time makeup look by Paris-based makeup artist named Marie Guyon. And unfortunately, I couldn't find the name of this model. It just said Suki. So if you know who this model is, please write it in the comments below. But everything about this editorial, all the products that I used to recreate this look will be in the description. I'm so excited to recreate this. This is the mood, the vibe, the vision. Look at how stunning. Look at that face. I've been loving the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. This is in the shade 0W. I'm liking this for a lighter base, and I'm still really loving applying foundation with my hands. I picked up a beauty blender, but I'm not really feeling it. It doesn't feel necessary. Look at that. Loving this base so much. Now I'm gonna powder the dickens out of this. I'm gonna go in with my NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Vanilla. If you've been here for a minute, you know that my favorite loose setting powder is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Translucent Setting Powder. Best luxury dupe on the market. Now my base feels locked in. I feel locked and loaded and ready to go. This is the Kaleidos Mono Blush in Hot Shot. She's got this beautiful, almost like kind of just a contour of color. So I'm just gonna follow my natural kind of contour with this. Oh, this is pretty. Oh my gosh. Regret not dipping into this sooner. When I did the swatches of this, if you missed that, it's probably about a month ago or so, where I swatched on like 6 or 7 shades, 5, 6 new blushes from Kaleidos. They're mono blushes. So pretty, really pigmented, very finely milled and pressed, very fine powder on these blushes. Ooh, that color. I wasn't expecting to like this, because to me it looked like a contour shade, but I'm gonna put this on the top of my forehead too, and I really work this into my hairline. Kaleidos, this is stunning. And I think we're gonna use the Jeffree Star Orgy palette. Let me know if you want me to swatch this. What's the smoky one? The Deceased palette? Deceased, cremated, I don't know. I got both of these palettes on Amazon for like 16 bucks each, or 18 or something, and they're originally like 65, 75, I forget. And it is an authentic original Jeffree Star palette, but usually with these discounted ones, there's like some sort of spelling error or something in the palette that has nothing to do with the formula. If you're a fan of Jeffree Star palettes, I'll put this up in my makeup favorites so you can check this out. There's so much going on here. This is not just a flat white. There's kind of like a peachy beige in the crease. There's like this lavender color in the inner crease. White, of course, over top, or like an off-white. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. They didn't just swipe bang boom with a white. So we're gonna do this kind of layered up. So I'm thinking, my theory is that we go in with the deep tones first, and then we wash over it with like the off-white, the clay white, the yada yada white. Does that sound good to you? This shade looks like a close enough shade to that outer crease. And the shade in the palette is called Bed or Floor. I mean, hello, this is the Orgy palette. I'm just gonna start with that crease. Lay that color on right on down there. Okay, all right. And there's a beautiful kind of like brownish taupey shade. So I think I'm gonna take that same shade as the base underneath the eye. And I'm gonna bust out the Makeup Revolution Iconic 3 palette to get some of these lavender shades in there. I'm gonna go in with this, I think this is shade 5. Yeah, shade 5 in the palette. There's no grayish lavender in the Jeffree Star Orgy palette. This is the most beautiful dusty lavender pigment in the world. And I'm just gonna take that right there in the inner crease and wash that over the brow bone. Same over here. It's right above the eye socket. And then like washed over. Stamping that color up, intensifying. So the way that this white reads to me is an off-white. There's like a grayish cream tinge to that white. So luckily in the Orgy palette, there is a grayish cream white. And just start stamping that over. And I just keep building up layer by layer until I get to the intensity that I want. Take this all over the lid, stamping motions, and then I'll take whatever's left and stamp it over. Oh, I love this. Now I'm gonna go in with a brighter white. This is the shade I'm Shy, and again, this isn't a straight up pure blast in your face white. It's like a couple of shades lighter than the last one we used. I'm just gonna concentrate this over the lid, in the outer corner, a little bit up there on the brow bone, and kind of on the inner crease. Yeah, soften out that taupey color. On this eye, it's mostly concentrated right there on the lower lid. So again, stamping motions. Take it up a little bit in a semi-crescent shape, and then layering that up to intensify that off-white. A little bit up at that brow bone. This is so pretty. It'd be even prettier if my skin was like a couple shades lighter. That's what would really take it there. Okay, I feel pretty good about where this is, though I do think I'm gonna take a slightly more dense eyeshadow brush. This is ancient, I don't even know. I think it's Clinique. I got it in like literally the 8th grade. And I'm just gonna take this weird kind of like espresso color and take this underneath the eye to kind of deepen up a little bit of that shadow that we previously laid down. I'm gonna take and stamp that on. And it does look like this kind of just gets swept out ever so slightly. Oh my god, my eyes are watering, so that really intensified it. Fuck. Wasn't necessarily going for that, but we'll tap it out. I'm obsessed. This is so pretty. She has very teensy weensy brows in this, but I think maybe I'll just hit the brows with a little bit of that white, because it does look like, yeah, just to take that color down a little bit in my natural brow. I'm not gonna put any brow pencil on today. I'm gonna take that same I'm Shy shade on this cool kind of like flat foundation brush and just do some highlighting underneath the eye where one normally would, and out over that cheek and down. Kind of like that old school influencer style highlighting. You know what I'm saying? And I also got some of that purple pigment on the inside of my eye, so I'm taking that highlight right up into that inner corner as well. And I just keep tapping to buff out this shade. I'm taking it on the side of the nose as well, but she has this cute little like triangle effect, bottom triangle, the base of the triangle. You know what I'm trying to say. And we'll do this on this side as well. I'm hitting the side of the nose, up into the corner and all the way out. I'm going in with layer 2 to intensify that, and just bringing it a little bit further down this time. And I'm just taking tapping motions. I'm not like sweeping or rubbing, gently tapping. It's a lot of tapping. And layer number 2 on this side, concentrating that in the center of the face first, tapping that downward. I'm just tap, tap, tap this right in the center of the forehead for a little highlight there. Gorgeous. She doesn't appear to have curled her eyelashes. They're kind of like very small, very close to the lash line. So I'm gonna take the Maybelline Firework Mascara in Very Black, because these are obviously very black lashes. On the right eye, it almost appears as if there is a little bit of a black eye line too. She might have tight lined, but it doesn't appear that way on the left eye. So I think it might just be a shadow. So I'm just gonna go in at the very root base of the lash and just slightly run my eyelashes through that. I'm intentionally avoiding the end of the eyelash because these are not chunky at the ends. It's just a little bit of a wisp and a little bit of that black pigment. That is so cute. I'm gonna try to mimic this lower lash line without using falsies or cutting up any lashes or anything. I don't want to do that. I just want to keep it kind of grungy. But I'm just gonna hit one lash section at a time and skipping in between, if that makes sense. That's fun. I dig it. I am loving how this has turned out. I wish I had some brown contacts to really get the whole effect of what's happening here, because this is so, it's so dreamy. She has gorgeous, super plump lips. So we're gonna mimic or attempt to mimic the shape that she has, but also taking into consideration my natural shape. I'm gonna take this really fun, weird, taupey, yellowy brown lip pencil that I got at my favorite wig store recently. This is the Beauty Creations wooden lip pencil in Butta You Up. She has a very high, pushed out, plump top lip, and so the way that I kind of create the illusion of that on me is by going like multiple, probably 3, 4, 5, 6 millimeters above my natural lip line, and then a hard angle down, and I'm gonna skip my natural lip line ends out here. But to create the illusion of this lip, it's almost like a beautiful mountain. That's kind of the analogy that I would use in my brain to make sense of how to make this shape. So I'm going straight up. She has a tiny cupid's bow right at the top of her lip. So we're gonna establish that shape first and then kind of fill in, and then again, straight down, skipping the outside of my natural lip. Now I'll just fill in that inner area and try to create this tiny, I think it's already a little too wide. Okay, I need to shut up and concentrate because this is not working. Are we close? Kind of. Not really, but you know, what can you do? Now, plump, I'm gonna do the same technique. Down, a couple millimeters underneath my natural lip line, and up, skipping that natural lip. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm just gonna lightly take the edge of that pencil and kind of fill in the lip, leaving the center natural, and just blot that out. I think we got pretty close to that lip shape. Wowie, wowie. Because this is clearly a glossy lip, I'm going to take the Kaleidos. This is the best lip gloss formula. I don't normally like lip gloss, but this is kind of feels like, to me, a hybrid between an oil and a gloss. It's so sexy. Okay, friends, this is the finished look. I am obsessed. I think we got damn near close. This color, I could have gotten closer to. I think I went a little too yellow, but I feel really, really, really beautiful in this makeup. And the thing that I'm learning, I'm noticing that I'm drawn to a very specific style of makeup. And as an artist, the only way that I know how to describe that is painterly. For days that I have more time to do my makeup, this is the route I prefer to go. And essentially, that template is a gradient of light colors on top, accented by a deeper shade in the same range of value within a couple of shades difference underneath the eye. And that's really makes my eyes pop, and it's kind of like almost like inverted from how I usually do my makeup. So all of that to say, I hope that you enjoyed this makeup recreation today. This color palette is giving me all my life and more. Both of the palettes that I used to recreate this makeup is in my Amazon makeup favorites. I recently just purchased this. Depending on where you are, I don't know how Amazon works. I don't know if it's location specific and price specific based on location. Like I know Jeffree Star has a manufacturing or a warehouse in the LA area. Like, is it just LA that is receiving these weird one-off discounted palettes? I'd be curious to know. If you want this palette, it's up in my Amazon as well as this. This one's $8. This was $18. I mean, the Kaleidos is up in my showcase if you want to check that out, the blush and the lip glaze. And of course, I will write everything down in the description box for you so you know what I used